I saw.
What, that backlighting? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's just a daylight bulb, and then I usually sit
Oh,
under red and yellow lights at night.
oh, nice. That's good. Yeah, for the brain activity, so it doesn't. Is
Yeah,
it one of those
blue
things?
light's
Yeah.
not good at night, basically, they say. And then also these are like a healing, enhanced mitochondrial function. It's all functional.
Yeah, absolutely.
Expensive as shit, but whatever. I'm getting
Well,
these for $1.
if you got the means, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm experimenting and see what happens.
Cool, man. But yeah, well, I appreciate you doing this talk with me. This is from my channel, Learn Microgreens, where I plan on sharing a lot of good information about the microgreen business. And so one of the things I wanted to talk to you was about that. I mean, as someone who's kind of conquered the YouTube game in a very niche respect, uh, what advice would you have for me or for anyone starting a YouTube channel to try to communicate something like the mission that you and I are on?
All right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, in regards to starting a YouTube channel, what I would say is that, let me see here. Let me get that out the way here. I just say do it, like, don't like think, oh man, I got to get the right camera and spend like $2,000 on a camera. Freak, man, my camera cost me like $200. My camera that I was using for a long time was like $100, like a Canon old school. People laugh at me and stuff because I mean, iPhone 10s and 11s and probably even the 8s have better cameras than the camera that I'm using to film on. So you don't think like I need all this equipment, I need the right lighting and all that. Make it work, man. And like my videos ain't gonna be perfect, and I ain't gonna say that it's gonna be perfect and stuff. I travel with a tripod, my camera. I could have all this lighting and all this other BS, and I sometimes wear a mic, but I don't even like to wear a mic because it's a hassle. But for me, it's
Yeah.
all about the content and just sharing what I've learned and what other people are doing. Like the video I made with you, man. Like, dude, it's got like 25,000, maybe 30,000 views now in like 6 days. Insane.
Yeah.
You know, we're,
That's
we're
amazing.
because of me, but not just me, dude. I wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for you and what you're doing. I wouldn't even have the content. I mean, of course, I have my full backyard I was gardening in today myself, and I could make plenty of content back there. But I mean, you can only do so many videos in your backyard, and I feel sad for the people on YouTube that are only making videos in their backyard and they never get to travel to experience the world or visit other people or connect with other people and show literally like what it is, like a lot of different things. So like that's the thing. If you're starting your own YouTube channel, man, get some variety, right? Maybe people like variety in the bedroom. People like variety on YouTube. So, visit other Microgreens farms, go think outside the box, go visit your
Yeah.
seed supplier, go visit your, I don't know, your soil supplier, your pad supplier, whatever you're doing, like, I don't know, go visit the freaking water department and find out how they make their water and stuff and why you should probably purify and use a filter and pH balance it.
Yeah.
I mean, like all these investigative videos, because then guess what? If somebody's searching for best water for microgreens, you're gonna have the video. I mean, I haven't made that video yet. Maybe one day I will, but like I like to dive down into subjects. Maybe one day I'll do that video. But if
Yeah.
you're only into microgreens, right, that's already a really niche category. Try to bump that category even a little bit bigger and do videos that nobody else has, because when somebody's searching that topic, guess what? You will be the expert because you have the video and nobody else does. And that's what I try to do. I mean, the video I made with you, man, is like first video I made with somebody growing microgreens in their spare bedroom. I had one already with a guy doing it in his living room already.
Yes. Yeah.
I got one coming up. It's gonna be filmed maybe later this year. A guy doing it in his mobile home, dude. Like,
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that video of that fella who had it in his living room. I thought that was an impressive little setup he had.
yeah,
Um,
like one little corner, man, like a little box, like fully air conditioned and everything. I mean, it was
he
slick.
he was being efficient with the space for sure. I mean, that guy.
But yeah, man.
I mean, he had a solid setup. So yeah, kudos to him. Um, yeah, and since the video came out 6 days ago, of course I've had a great response as well. I've my DMs on all channels are blowing up. I've got all kinds of unread messages. People are even following my Twitter. I don't even tweet, but once in a blue moon.
I don't even see. Wait, I have a Twitter somewhere.
Yeah, but and that's great. And of course I appreciate the exposure of your platform because you have a huge platform. Just on that channel alone, you have, I think, right at 700,000 subscribers. So I mean, that's for someone like me, that's big time, and especially since I'm starting my own channel. I mean, the timing really couldn't have been any better. So thank you for that.
Yeah, get your first video up as soon as possible, man. You're losing losing
I'm
people,
shooting.
man.
I'm shooting for tomorrow, actually.
Good,
Yeah, I'm
good,
shooting for
good.
tomorrow. I filmed 4 like short videos today, and I plan on trying to knock out another 3 or 4 tomorrow. Um, I was inspired after you came and we filmed a video because I realized like, well, I kind of know this guy now a little bit, and he's obviously kind of like trailblazed his own path on YouTube in this really niche category. So I started like really kind of deep diving into your videos and trying to look at some of your older stuff. And you have, I think, 3 different channels, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no, I got
Uh,
three public channels. Yeah.
yeah. And I kind of realized what you're talking about. You take really small, specific subjects sometimes, and you just put it under the biggest magnifying glass that you can put it and get as much information as possible. So I was kind of inspired by that. And so the videos I've been filming have been kind of like some of them are 3 minutes to about 7 or 8 minutes, but I take one really small subject, one really small thing that I am seeing a lot of in like comments, Facebook groups that I see brought up a lot, and I'm just elaborating and putting as much into that one little thing as possible. And yeah, just trying to build my brand and get ready for my book to come out. But yeah, it's been an overall great experience, man. And you're a cool guy. Everybody asks me, how is John in person? Is he like super cool? Does he like turn it on for the cameras? Is he just always like that passionate? Everybody wants to know about you.
What do you tell them? I don't know. Tell me what you
I,
tell them.
I tell
You
him
tell me. I
you're
mean, I just tell like it is. I don't bullshit people.
no, not at all. Not at all. I've told everybody that, yeah, I mean, you definitely are genuinely passionate about it. You're very professional when it comes to the filming. I basically just tell them what happened. I mean, you came over, we met at the farmer's market. We chatted a little bit. You came over. I kind of ran through the whole way I do my business again. We kind of talked about that again. And then you took off and started filming. And it was actually kind of impressive how much of the information you remembered and were able to put it together as you were filming, because you were pretty pressed for time. You had to get out of there.
In the airport, dude.
Yeah, you were almost late to the plane. So, yeah, man. I mean, you seem like a hell of a guy. The more I talk to you, the more I like you. We have had a little logistical issue trying to meet up, but I'm busy. You're busy, so
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm glad we're doing it, man. You're at home in Vegas right now?
Yeah, man, I'm at home right now. Yeah.
Good, man. When are you heading out on the road again, or do you know?
Yeah, I don't usually generally share my travel schedule with people.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Reasons, yeah, but I'll be. I travel a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Someone in your position, there's probably some creepers out there.
I mean, I've had some weird stories happen, but yeah, I definitely think on the YouTube videos, I like how you're doing it. Like that's what I try to deep dive into, and I don't necessarily recommend that people make like long hour-long videos like I do. I generally would recommend people to do shorter videos because people's attention spans are really short, unfortunately, and people like short videos. My long format videos, I mean, if you like, they're important to me because I can't. If I visited you, man, and made a 3-minute video, dude, what would I share? We could take 2 things, and like, I want people to know the full story. I want them to know everything, basically, almost everything they need to know to like grow microgreens in one video. But yeah, I mean, if somebody's researching, yeah, you should probably have some short, concise, but niche, and also, just like in a business, right? Find a gap and fill it. And, find a need, find what people are asking in comments and make a video about that topic, because guess what? Those will be popular. And especially research videos online about microgreens that have not been done yet, and think up things that you had questions about that nobody has a video on. And then you could make that video, because if you had questions about it, somebody else is going to have that too. So I really like thinking outside the box and like making videos nobody else has. I mean, some of the videos I've made are similar, but then I always have a different spin on it. And of course I have my own opinions. I mean, I'm not a microgreens farmer. I've never, what? I think I grew microgreens once. I like you people. No way, John, you make all these videos on microgreens. You grew microgreens like once, maybe twice. But seriously, like you grown way more microgreens than me, but I've been having a backyard garden forever. And I grow lots of microgreens in my garden. Actually right now it's winter. So like I let my seeds drop. My seeds dropped And then now I'm getting all these microgreens come up without me doing nothing. That's the smartest microgreens. But, I'm not going to have like any significant quantity of them to be harvested and eaten. But but the other thing is, as far as I'm aware, I'm like probably the guy that has visited the most microgreens farms, at least on YouTube, that I'm aware of, because, I'm friends with everybody. Yeah. I'm not like trying to compete against the guy in Maryland or you or the guy that I visited in, Phoenix doing micros, or, I don't really care. I'm just there to like inspire others to grow micros and to share the good practices that people do that could be helpful for others, so that they could just take off and do the best practices of each guy, because nobody's really doing that. Everybody always has like their little niche that they're really good at, and then some things they're not so good at,
Yeah, that's a really one, that's really good advice, I think, and I appreciate it, because obviously to have a resource of like being able just to ask you direct questions is a phenomenal opportunity for someone in my position. But I like what you said. I mean, you do, and you have inspired a lot of people, I'm sure, to do a lot of different things, whether it's just growing food for themselves, their friends, and their family, or business. But yeah, I think that's what I'll try to stick to, is just the videos that I know that I've had questions about, that other growers have asked me, that I don't see any specific information, and try to fill those holes. Because I've had so many people message me about, hey, you mentioned the podcast, when's that coming out, or what's the link to the podcast, or what's the link to the book?
When it wasn't out, I couldn't find it. I'm like, dude, what's up with the podcast?
Yeah.
We filmed months ago.
Like 3 months ago. Yeah.
But I've been busy and I got backlog videos forever,
Yeah, and that is coming very soon. Very soon. It's in the post editing stage, but Donnie and I have to work together, to get all this stuff done. He's in New York, I'm in Colorado, so he's extremely busy. He's making over $8,000 a month doing the same thing I'm doing in Long Island, New York. So, and he's trying to get a YouTube channel going too. So, and I've got the book, and I've got my own channel. So logistically, it's difficult.
Yeah. Don't bite off more than you can chew, man. Ever.
I'm trying not to.
Be a master of a few, maybe not none, but
yeah, absolutely. That's a good show, though, Master of None. One of my friends messaged me and was like, "Hey, man, I saw that video. I really like that banana stand T-shirt John had on it." I was like, "That's what you had to say about the video, bro?" You like John's T-shirt?
Yeah, I got it at Target on clearance, man, because I shop on clearance, and I like bananas in the show. I know the show Arrested Development now because people have mentioned it to me, and I think I even watched it. But when I bought the T-shirt, I didn't even know that was from Arrested Development.
Oh, funny.
That's true. But it fits me well. Bananas. I like that because it's like, tight fitting, like athletic build, and it's like fits me because I'm a smaller frame, more athletic build guy versus like, standard American dude.
For sure. Well, yeah, I'm really excited about everything that's been going on, and I know I already said it, but I'm just really appreciative of you sharing the platform. And I just kind of want to do what you're doing for growing your own vegetables. Even I don't even know how many videos, how many minutes or hours of videos you have of like trying different juicers. So like if you're into juicing and you want to find out what juicer to buy and what, depending on your price range, all you have to literally do is look at your videos. And I want to do the same thing with microgreens, because even though I'm good growing it and the business is going well, the overall big picture mission is getting towns having multiple choices. Every town in America and outside of America, we all need to be doing this. The schools, the hospitals, the nursing homes, everywhere. And I've kind of put it on myself that's one of my main missions here. Is to try to do the big picture stuff. So I have a number in my head. When I can get the farm to that number, I'll probably hire a farm manager, let them take the day-to-day operations, and me try to focus on getting like bigger clients for the business to keep it moving in that direction, but also spending more time putting out content or, creating things, building community. My younger brother, Cody, he lives in Dallas, and he had already been talking about this, but then after he saw the video, he was like, I'd be an idiot not to go ahead and just do it in Dallas. And so he's working on, he just bought all of his stuff today. I spent some time on the phone with him. I sent him all my links from Amazon and True Leaf Market and so on. And I forget how much he spent total, but he's got a good setup that's coming. He's got the bootstrap farmer trays coming. He's going to start off right. And yeah, we're going to have Living Well Microgreens, Texas. And I've got a family here wanting to open up in Pueblo, which is just like 45 minutes south down the interstate, and do Living Well Microgreens Pueblo. So I'm looking to expand that direction too. So it's an exciting time, man. You've definitely helped.
Oh, cool, man. I'm glad to help. Hey, just you talking right there, man. You should make a video of all the microgreens equipment you bought on Amazon with their links. And of course, they could be affiliate links. I don't like to do affiliate links for myself, but
sure.
But that'd be good for you because that'd be a good video. I'm sure people ask you about your setup. You just send them that video, and then guess what? It's all your links too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good content idea for sure. So something I've been curious about since you came over and we filmed the video, and I know you've been doing this a long time. How do you organize, like kind of how you're going to structure the video, or do you kind of figure that out on the fly?
Dude, that's how I have my fun in life, dude. I mean, some people might go to the bar or go gamble or go to the football game or watch football on TV and yell at the TV screen. Dude, I love to visit farms and figure all that shit out in my head. I mean, we have the most powerful supercomputers on the planet, right? Not like the laptop I'm sitting in front of or not my desktop. Dude, it's right here, man. And if you don't use it, you'll lose it, man. I mean, they got those apps on phones that like test your brain and remember this shit, remember that shit, and put this in order and pick out the square instead of the circle. Dude, I go to farms and I'll get the download from like the farmer like you, and people don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand how good I am, but like if I just meet somebody, they don't really know like what I'm capable of. Like I just was at the CES and like they like gave me a standing ovation well, they're already standing, but they gave me a standing ovation when I was done filming at their booth because they basically gave me the download and I sold it better than they did because I also went to school for marketing. And my mission is to use my tools that I've been God blessed with or nature blessed or also acquired and learned to like basically help others and to teach them to grow food, teach what I've learned, become their own boss, independent of the man. I mean, so you're doing exactly what I want to inspire people to do. So I love using you as an example or to make content about, and it's like all 100% on the fly, man. Like my supercomputer just goes to work, man. And I don't know, I'm just gifted. I mean, I have high retention rate. I wish I could say that when I was in college or high school because I probably smoked too much weed or something back then. I don't smoke weed now, letting people know because everybody thinks I'm a stoner. Not a stoner. I'm actually high on alkaline green juices.
Yeah.
I don't use cannabis to get like active effects. I use CBD cannabis. But yeah, so never get stoned. But yeah, so that's what it takes to have a sharp brain, sharp mind. I take my omega-3 fatty acids and flax seeds and some algae-based oils and eat very healthy brain protective foods such as, purple blueberries and all these other crazy fruits and vegetables that, it's hard for people to find sometimes. And I use my brain, right? And so I love doing that, just coming. And I basically, like, if you ever go to like to a producer, like a movie, whatever producer that's like making a movie for the big screen, like they have the storyboard and they have the script. Dude, I do that all freaking boom in an instant in my head. As you're telling me stuff, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to make this, I'm going to do this. And I storyboard it all and it happens, man. And so like, I can't really even share how I do this because I never really thought about the process. I'm just able to do it and then deliver. And then as you see, I mean, some of the mushroom farmer, that was probably one of my hardest videos I did. I was up at a mushroom farm. Actually Curtis Stone turned me on to, and I visited that guy, and that guy was like, he's like, you gonna remember all this? And I'm like, yeah. And I looked him straight in the eye. I'm like, yeah, I remember like 90% plus.
Yeah.
He's like, because there's a lot of technical stuff that I know you may not remember. And like, if I don't remember, I won't say it. And so I did the video, and then he Instagram messaged me. He's like, you're damn good.
Yeah.
But the other thing too for me is that I'm not just a teacher. So many people look up to me like, John, you're such a great teacher, and I'm glad I could be a great teacher. But the other thing at the same time, I don't want anybody to ever not be a student in life. I'm still a student in life. I'm learning. I mean, I'll learn stuff from you. If I just learned one thing from visiting your farm, then that's a successful day for me because now I've expanded my repertoire. Like I've visited so many microgreens farms. I know this much about microgreens farm more than most people that are just running their farm, because I've seen so many farmers do it. So many farms make the same mistakes. Some make different ones. And then I just get one extra thing that I didn't know before. It's like, oh my God, I already visited all these farms and they didn't know this stuff. And now I know one extra thing. And then it just keeps going out. So it's like, man, my body of knowledge, even though I never grow microgreens, is plus I remember it all. And if I don't remember it all, right, that's why I got the videos too, so I can review my videos. Just like, wait a second, I think this guy did this. Joe, check my video.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely, I thought I kind of knew the answer to that when I asked you, but I thought it was an interesting question. I didn't want to assume that I knew, but yeah, it definitely seemed like I just kind of gave you. I mean, we talked about so much. I tried to really be as detailed as I could because I could tell that's what you wanted. And I only remember you asking me maybe one time, just one little thing, like was it $4 or $5? It was something like really insignificant.
Yeah,
but
like,
everything else, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not significant, but it's like I want to make it accurate in the video.
you definitely have a refined skill set for it, for sure. You know, and I'm sure a lot of it's been over time. You have so many hours of training, and something you said I kind of live by too, because I talked to you before. I do martial arts. I train at an MMA gym here, and we talk about a lot having the white belt mentality at everything. So no matter how good you are at something, you always come in like you said, like a student. You come in with like a blank canvas, like, let me soak up what I can soak up and not assume I know everything. Because once you do that, then you can't make any adjustments when things happen because you're locked into your ways. So you said something else about how you probably know a lot more than a lot of people even growing microgreens because you've seen so many different operations, how everyone's doing it. You see what works, what doesn't work, what's the best, what's not the best, what's efficient, what's not efficient. And that is honestly how I tried to start my business from the get-go. I tried to do so much heavy, deep research, DMing people, calling, emailing, just reading everything on their website 10 times. I tried to pull what I felt was the best thing that everybody was doing in each aspect and try to kind of get like an eclectic business because I wanted to start with the best edge I could. And I feel like that really helped me early on. I think I passed a lot of hurdles that I see people in like Facebook groups or growers that reach out to me. They ask me things that I feel like I kind of surpassed before I even got started because of the research I did. And I think some growers won't give you information because they feel like they have trade secrets. Not all of them. Most of them aren't like that, but I have met some. But then there's also probably more people that are just afraid to ask. They're just afraid to reach out and be like, hey man, where do you get your containers? Or, who should I get labels through? Who are you using? Or have you tried these different seed companies? Who's the best? And that's one of the things I want to encourage. Like we have to be a community. We're all doing this for the betterment of not just ourselves, but of mankind. So, let's be a community and put our money where our mouth is and help each other. And when you mess up, admit that you mess up and ask some people around you. When you're doing something good, share the information so they can take advantage as well.
Yeah, man, I strongly agree with that. Actually, I'm really into the more open source model of, business 2.0 in the future. And I think this trade secret bullshit, like it needs to stop because it's like, really, you're just being selfish. Like, and why it's just for money, what is money? Money is just freaking paper with like deceased presidents. And I think the new quarter actually has a fruit bat on it actually, which is cool.
That's what I saw. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, right? But money is just, money is the value we put on it. It's so lame that, you're going to like, hinder the betterment of society and the health of other people just because of profit. And I mean, this is what big corporations and business do, and especially as small people, we need to kind of share as much of the information as we possibly can, with others so that we could have the betterment of society and the world.
Right. Yeah. And I think some people are just afraid to give. I don't know. I guess they feel like, well, if I tell them this one thing, then they might take over my market and put me out of business. Or it's like, dude, if someone can take one or two bits of information you give them and run you out of business, you didn't deserve the top spot anyway. They outworked you.
Exactly. And the other thing too, I was just watching The Prophet. Actually, that's what I do for fun when I'm relaxed, eating a little dinner. I was watching The Prophet, and one of the things he said was, man, like this one business he was going to invest in was a hat shop in Austin, and basically the name brand hat company, because they were an independent company, came in down the street, and it's like a big national chain or something. And they're like, basically, the lady's business was going down because of the place down the street. And when you get competition, right, you need to step your game up, man, because it's about competition.
Yeah.
And if you don't step your game up, then guess what? You're out of business. And, I'm good with that, because then you weren't doing a good job, and you deserve to go out of business. And I'll say that straight up, man. Like, hey, I hope somebody gets a better YouTube channel than me, because then I got to work harder. And, I don't work as hard as I could on my YouTube channel, because I know I'm already up there. And plus, the other thing for me and my YouTube channel, anyways, it's not really a competition, because to me, my YouTube channel is not about like me making an income because I need money from my YouTube video revenue or whatever, right? My YouTube videos are just for fun. I mean, that's what I like to do in my spare time, and also give back, because I'm just grateful to be alive, because I almost lost my life when I was younger. And then, that's just what really drives me. It's one of my passions and goals in life, is to make a difference with my life, right?
Yes.
And collect all this freaking money that's going to end up in the bank that you're not going to know what to do with, like all these billionaires that, like, I don't know, man. Like, that just pisses me off, all that stuff. So I'm just trying to, make it and be a difference, and be glad that I'm actually here and doing something productive with my life, instead of, fucking up people's lives by drinking and driving or something. And I don't drink either. So, and don't drink and drive, anybody out there that's watching this.
Yeah, I don't drink either. Yeah. Stay sober on the road.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're going to do it responsibly. I'm not going to put a judgment on that, because everybody can choose to do what they want to do in their lives.
That's right. Yeah, it's your body, put in it what you will, I suppose.
That's exactly it.
So, to kind of like, I guess to speak on, to continue what we're speaking on, I've had a local competitor. I tried to reach out to them. They never messaged me back. I think I went later that day to see, like, I wonder if they just read it and didn't message me back. I was just kind of curious. I wasn't really, I think I was like a month, like maybe 6 weeks in or something like that. I go to look back, and I couldn't even see their profile. They blocked me. And then like the next day or two, they put a post. Someone told me that they were starting a delivery service, which was my model, which is how I'm running my model. So I've ran into very much the opposite for the most part. Like 9.9 out of 10 times, farmers are cool, and they want to, they're cool to share information. But yeah, I mean, I just think that's kind of a weak mentality, and we'd all be better to be the opposite. I'm not saying, pull your books out and let somebody go over your finances. Don't give them your routing number, and your business card. I'm not saying that, but if the guy's like, hey, should I do Coco Core, or should I do should I source a local soil, give him your freaking opinion, tell him what you think, help him out, but it's definitely helped me. My friend Donnie Greens, who I'm doing the podcast with, we were talking about a minute ago. Let's see, his containers. I use the exact same containers he uses multiple containers, but the one square, like cube container that you were handling in the video, he sent me the link. I clicked on it and I bought some immediately. And I just said, hey man, I can't find any good packaging. Yours looks like it's probably going to fit my amount pretty well. He grows 4 of the 5 that I grow, so we're very similar in the species we're growing. And he just texted me the link. And the next thing you know, I had him at my door. And that's how I think we need to be. We just need to help each other, because it's about everybody. It's not just about us. And it's cool to make money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, support yourself and your family and live a good life.
Make money, to live and survive in our society the way it's been set up for us.
Yeah. Yeah. We just kind of wake up in this one day, and although it might not be the most ideal thing, like I'd much rather just be holding hands in a field somewhere singing Kumbaya all the time, but yeah, we kind of wake up in this reality, so we have to deal with it. And but yeah, so the main message is just, it's just be good to your fellow farmers, be willing to help out. And it's like you said, like if you're afraid to give someone some information, right, because you think they might make more money than you, well, that just means you're kind of admitting that you are not going to rise to the occasion when they increase their ability and their business and their know-how. So you're almost like defeating yourself before anything ever happens. So, don't do that. Just figure it out and be niche. Some of my competition out here is growing, 20 plus varieties. I grow 5. We're not all doing the same thing. So, yeah, I think that's interesting. What I'm curious, what response have you got personally about the video?
Dude, I don't have. I mean, I might look at some of the comments, but I really don't talk to any of my followers. I just can't have open communication channels because I mean, my time is the most precious thing I own. I mean,
Sure, yeah.
I don't know a lot of things, but I own my time, right? And like, I mean, I might check the comments a few days afterwards and read them, and I usually can't respond because if I start responding to one guy, then everybody thinks I'm going to respond to them, and like, I don't want to feel
Yeah.
that I'm like, oh, John didn't respond to me. Like, I'm sorry, I don't respond to anybody because that's just my standard like rule. Because
That makes
otherwise,
sense.
I, mean,
Yeah.
I could just be freaking sitting on my, social media all day responding to comments, and then like, not that I wouldn't want to, but I mean, I could. I mean, my freaking toilet needs cleaning. My laundry needs to get put away. I make dinner. I was out in my garden today. I ran out of sunlight. I freaking kept my things up, like.
Oh wow.
I got regular, and then I have 3 YouTube channels to publish, one a video a week on. I just edited the other one actually before you called. I was like titling it and getting that ready to go for tonight. That was filmed last night and got done without it like 10 o'clock at night. Then came home and ate dinner. Like I seriously just don't have the time. Like so I don't really know the feedback. I did want to comment though on the like competitors being like kind of more friendly to each other and sharing info versus like not. So like I think if you're a competitor and you're like really closed down and not open to like hearing from other people, that means like you're not really open to getting new ideas and advancing your business. In my opinion, it's like, I mean, on some levels you're almost doomed to fail. In my opinion, I mean, of course you may be otherwise. And then the other thing, I think it's more just a more mature sense to take. The more advanced or developed person would be more open and friendly to their competitors. And almost like see it as a competitive race, right? Like ex-girlfriends, this is kind of like, I look at it as like analogies. I like to teach in analogies, and like I see it as like analogies with like ex-girlfriends I've had over the years. Basically, I've always wanted to be friends with my ex-girlfriends. Just because we didn't get along in a romantic relationship doesn't mean she's not an amazing person otherwise, right?
Sure.
And it's like most people like, oh, if you're not going out with me, then you're my complete enemy. But dude, you like shared the same thing with this person. You shared so many parts of your lives, and now you're just not going to talk to me because they don't want to be in a romantic relation with you. Like that's totally, I think that's asinine. But to each their own. These are just my opinions, of course. But
Sure.
yeah, I'm really with you on that, like strongly. And like I really like to cover people that are open. Like, yeah, John, show everything I got, because then guess what? I feel more comfortable. There's not these trade secrets. I was at a farm in Hawaii. I won't say where in Hawaii, but I did film there anyways, even though like a big part of their process, they would not let me show due to trade secrets, and they're scared. But I mean, I understand that because they invested lots of time, effort, and money to buy this special machinery and special ways to process their product to create a product. And then now they have, probably the best product of that kind, which I'm not going to mention.
Sure.
But I mean, they should share this with others, because every other product is basically inferior because they're not processing it properly, and they know how to do it and nobody else does. And I think to move the whole industry forward, instead of them just corner the market, they should share this. But you know what? I respect also, on the other hand, but also that really turned me off to making a video there, aside from all the other cool things they're doing. And I don't know. I really strongly feel that's really not the way. And if somebody was really like that and like, oh, you can't show anything, John, then I have no content to film anyway. So like, I'm out of here. And then I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna use my talent to help, lift other people, companies, or share information. If people are just gonna want to use me as a marketing tool, because I'm not a tool to be used.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting. And I like that. I mean, I imagine if. I mean, I don't know. I imagine if Benjamin Franklin was like, I'm going to keep this whole electricity thing to myself. I'm just going to keep that close to the chest, Yeah, we got to put it out there. That's how we advance as a society, is the transference of information. And with the internet, you can get information instantaneously from any location on Earth, as long as they have a signal and a device that can upload it. It's there for you to find. And since one of my main focuses is trying to inspire people to create the business, it's all online, man. You might have to watch every video, then watch every video. If that's the work you got to do and you got to take notes, physical notes like I did, watching videos and pausing them and writing it down and rewinding it. What did they say? How many ounces are they using for that? How much weight are they putting on the trays? Then do it. But the information is out there. So yeah, I hate the trade secret thing. I do too. It's one of those things that's kind of like, it's frustrating because kind of like what you said, it's like if you just drop that, you could level up. If you drop that mentality, that's almost like a weight on your ankles when you could come up to the next level if you let go of that mentality and just really, really believe in yourself and what you're doing. It doesn't matter. If you think you're number one, who cares who number two and who number three and who number four is?
That's all
You
what it
know?
comes down to, man. Your personal belief and about yourself, and people.
Yeah.
Another big challenge in our society is that we're just not really taught to. We're so put down, and our people aren't taught how to parent properly in our school system. I mean, there's a lot of things messed up, man. So I just
Oh,
try
I
to
agree.
help what I can, man. And I don't got kids yet, so but when I
Yeah.
do, I'm gonna raise them right and to be forward, advanced thinkers, and be open and honest and nonviolent communication. Oh man, I can't wait to see my kid grow up. Hopefully they turn out good. And I as their parent to basically teach them,
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
they do it well.
Well, I'm sure you will. I mean, just the fact that you have that mentality pre-kids is a good sign that you'll make the right moves. And I mean, that's one of the biggest things I've ever wanted to do with my life since I was a child, was just have a family. And sometimes I think when people have like rough childhoods, they kind of like want to get that back a little bit, like with their own family when they're grown. And so yeah, I have two kids, and my 4-year-old. We're getting ready to start homeschooling him. Uh, Not really too up on the idea of him going to public school. And yeah, I want to teach him good values. Right now at his age, I'm more worried about like morals and manners, and teaching him how to actually learn and how to properly communicate, his emotions and his desires and his feelings. Because kids, especially at that age, man, they're just big bottles of energy and emotion, and they're on this side of the spectrum, and then all of a sudden they're on this side of I took my son on a walk at sundown today just to get him outside because I could tell he had a little extra energy. And this dude fell down 4 times. I don't know. He was like trying to walk sideways and backwards. He's just being goofy. And he'd fall down and he would scream for about 30 seconds like he was dying. And then he just straighten himself back up, and he's like, all right, let's keep going. But yeah, it's amazing. They're sponges. And I'm very much looking forward to sharing what I'm doing, because he can't really comprehend it now, but I'm looking very forward to be able to show him, like, look, this is where we started. you know like I was killing myself doing a job I didn't want to do in Texas just to get your mom through college so we can move here to Colorado. Uh-oh. No,
Let me
you're
turn
good, brother.
mute here. Let's see.
You're good, brother.
Do that. Let's see. I got a privacy button here somewhere.
Take your time, my man. No rush.
Oh, good. I got on Do Not Disturb now. All right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of showing him like how possible it is. Like I started with 0 customers. Nobody had ever heard of Living Well Microgreens. Almost all of the people who purchased the product didn't know what it was until they, got in contact with me or someone else that was already buying from me. And then I'll be able to go back even on the YouTube videos and show them like, look, this has been the progression of things. And yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I like what you said about your time, because time is I think we talked about it actually in the last video. It's your most precious commodity. And I guess I wasn't thinking about it from your perspective, but of course, it would make sense for you to try to start answering all those comments.
Across all my channels and stuff, I've about 900,000 or almost a million, getting close to a million followers or subscribers. So,
Wow.
And there's one of me. And like, seriously, I don't have a camera crew. I don't have a house here. I don't have anybody that makes my food. I mean, I just got me, man. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry that I can't respond to people, but like, you want to like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you mean.
Content because I don't want to be like out of the game, you know. So, but
Sure.
I need to see an exchange. I just can't obviously donate my time to everybody because I'd be screwed. But I'm surprised at how many people don't take me up on my offer, which is basically for $5 you get 10 minutes of my time because I'll call you, and usually I end up on the phone for 13 to 15 minutes on average. And then I'm glad because now they're giving me $5. Not that I need the $5 because $5 is nothing, but actually of the $5, I don't even keep that. I don't even cash it out. It stays in with the Fiverr, which is like an online marketplace. And then I use that money that comes in for me to basically trade for somebody else's services to get my videos transcribed. So that hearing impaired or people that don't speak English could now have access to the information in my videos. So I kind of see that more of a trade, like somebody's trading I'm trading my time for a transcriber's time, which to me is a trade, and I'm valuing my time very affordably. And then also shows me that if somebody's going to pay $5 to talk to me, which is basically like, not like free, but it's undervaluing my time greatly.
For sure. Yeah.
Then like, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. Like $5 minutes for me to pick my brain about anything I know, like that's an incredible deal in my opinion.
Well, yeah, no, I agree too, man. $5. I mean, if you don't have $5 to invest in yourself, what will you invest in yourself?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, and then the other thing I want to say, man, this is another video idea that I want you to make that I just noticed. I just thought about when you're telling me, dude, seriously, you got to make this video. Teach your 4-year-old, or maybe he's going to be 5 then, whatever, how to grow microgreens. And then have a video. Microgreens are so easy to grow. My 4-year-old can do it, and you can too. And just have the video, freaking your son doing it, but you explaining it because maybe he won't be able to explain it, but he just knows the process.
That's a great idea.
Dude. And then like what? Like what? My dog eats better than your 5th grader and stuff, you know? Man, my 4-year-old could grow microgreens, and you're giving me an excuse. You're 40, like, or 30, whatever. Like, come on, man. Falls down 4 times when he goes for a walk, but he can grow microgreens.
Yeah, heck yeah, that's a fantastic idea. I'll make
4-year-old to do that video. I don't.
Right, you got hired like a child actor.
Get out here! I got a problem.
I will do that video, my man.
Awesome, dude. It might be 5 then. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, we'll do it. I could probably do it now. We might just have to do it in small segments, But yeah, no, I think that's a great idea, and that's the thing too. Because I don't know.
He's learning real world skills. He could be like, dude. He can start his microgreens business when he's freaking 12. How amazing would that be? Like, he'd be the youngest kid growing like farming, man. At that point, like. Yeah.
Well, this past season at the markets, the days he would come with me before my wife gave birth to our second child, he would stand right next to me and he would flag people down. And he had just turned 4 at this time, and he's like, "Hey," he calls them flowers because one time we tried to get him to eat some, I think it was maybe some Brussels sprouts, and we kept saying, "Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables," and he was just really pumping his brakes on it. And through that experience, we kind of made vegetables a bad word. We kind of like we kind of like made a bad connection for ourselves. So we started calling the microgreens flowers. So he'd flag people down and say, "Hey, come try my daddy's flowers." And people would come over just because he's just a cute kid, like being enthusiastic, wanting to be like his daddy,
That's
So
cool,
I call him my best salesman. Yeah, he's my best sales rep on the team.
right on, yeah.
But no, that's a good video. And so yeah, if you've ever looked at my Instagram, I don't want to say I pioneered it because I think I've seen 1 or 2 that are maybe older than mine, but I have made by 100% for sure made way more memes about urban farming and microgreens than anyone else on earth. And I make my own original memes because to me that's like I'm trying to like use culture hacks to get microgreens and urban farming more into the mainstream. So I'm trying to connect them with things that are already like popular at the time in pop culture, like Baby Yoda, because of the Star Wars show. I got a Baby Yoda microgreen meme. I've used a lot of like different popular meme photos, that you would typically see, and so that's the kind of thing I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be creative and think, how can I not just get my product out there in my channel and my information, but how can I push microgreens to the forefront? I'm waiting to hear back from the TED Talks here in Colorado Springs. They do them a couple of times a year, and I put in my application and wrote out all the stuff and tried to be as passionate and as detailed as I could. So I'm hoping I get to do a TED Talk in the next few months and talk about microgreens and urban farming, but just things like that. I just I need to get it out. So any advice you have on that front, I'd be happy to hear as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what memes are, but what I'd recommend is, you know, kind of old school like that. But I'd recommend like Baby Yoda. I mean, I'm sure there's a picture of what Baby Yoda looks like. I think I've seen one like tag art on the side of a building in San Francisco or something. But you know, you should have actually microgreens patterns, dude, to grow trays and that look like certain things. Like, I think that would be badass. Nobody really does that.
Yeah, I like that. Like certain shapes or like lettering or something.
Or, you know, even characters. You know, I mean, I've seen letters before, but like make it the shape of a Baby Yoda, and you could do like red for the eyes and like, you know, different colors for the different things, and it's like almost like a paint by number, but it's like filling the seeds and in this little quadrant with this like little like template thing or something. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Nobody does that.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. Yeah, you're a very creative dude, my man.
Yeah, well, see, that's how my videos also get made, you know. So it's like I got to think outside the box and do stuff that nobody else does because it's just new and different and like eye catching. I mean, this happened by solely accident. Actually, the video I posted after yours, I was like tasting figs. I opened this fig up like this, and I mean, people comment and say, "Man, it looks like you're opening up a snake a snake mouth." And then I go back to the picture and I'm like, oh yeah, it does. I'm like, I just was like opening a fig and it looked cool.
Yeah, that I haven't finished that video, but I watched part of it too because I love figs, and we had a lot of figs growing up. We had a lot of fig trees, but they don't grow out here. And this past season at a different market, I saw a box of figs, and the lady said they came from Mexico. There was only a couple left. I grabbed one, paid her the money, threw it in my bag, and got home, and they were all molded. So I was very upset.
Mexico figs might have to be irradiated to even be imported too, man. I saw some Mexico figs I posted on my Instagram, and they had a radiation symbol on there. So be careful. Wow. If irradiated food is important to you.
Well, yeah, obviously. So I don't want to mess with that. Well, maybe it's a good thing they were molded then.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
Jeez Louise.
Pigs don't travel well, man, or ship well, or like they don't. Usually they're picked way underripe, man. Like I don't. I got my own trees, so.
Yeah, I know that's amazing.
I taste them, man. They just come off the tree, man.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, I can find a decent one sometimes. If I pick through like the whole case, I could make one little carton out of the whole display at like Whole Foods when they go on sale. And they're almost pretty good, but they still burn the heck out of my mouth.
For sure.
Which is why they're ripe.
So we'll wrap this up pretty quick. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know there's a little time difference between us, but kind of sticking to the topic of the microgreen business, since you do have this very unique perspective, being that you've traveled and seen so many of these operations. Can you speak on a little bit like what you think a lot of growers are doing right, what you think are doing wrong, and are there any holes in the game that you see that could be corrected and improved?
Oh man, I always, as I learn more information, there's more holes that I see that could be improved. Absolutely. Sure. I mean, I just came from the cannabis show, and some of the things that I saw there that'll be coming out in my video, might not be out for a month or two, like could be used in microgreens to accelerate and quicken the growth and health of the plants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I'll share the one because it just came to my mind. And I don't know how it would work, but I mean, they're doing this in big ag and cannabis. So, you know, if they're doing it in cannabis, it makes a difference.
Sure,
so basically, they're hyper oxygenating water up to 20 ppm. Normally, as it comes out of your tap, it's like 7 ppm. And dude, I mean, for microgreens, you got the growing medium, which some people mess up on. You got the seeds, which if people are smart, pretty much are going to go to True Leaf for the most part. And then you got the water. The water is critical, and most people got the filtering right. But dude, what if you super oxygenate and also properly pH balance the water, because I know some growers, they don't even pH balance their water, which I guess depending on where you live, you might be able to get away with that. But I would strongly encourage everybody to pH balance your water. Very important, critical step. But then also super oxygenated water from going from 7, ppm out of the tap to basically you get oxygen tanks and literally pump it through this special filter. Setup's like $1,500. Maybe you could get one for cheaper. Some of the ones at the trade show were like 20 grand, but the cheap one was 11 grand or 1,500. I think they had it on sale for 1,200. And then oxygen tanks to super enrich your oxygen in the water. Like, how is that going to affect a microgreens grow?
Yeah.
Because you're growing in water, and the oxygen won't remain in water, but it comes out, but the water is going to get watered in and get evaporated. Now the plants are going to have more dissolved oxygen in that water that they're absorbing, which is totally required for growth. I don't know. So, I think that should be looked into at least. Somebody should, because that's like cutting edge stuff that they are using in cannabis. It does make a difference. Otherwise, these companies would not be basically investing in this technology just to market to cannabis growers.
Yeah.
He has out there too. So, but it sounds all legit to me. And they did have university testing that I saw. I think I may or may not have held it up in the video that I made. So, I really like to see, applying new technology to microgreens growing. Because basically, dude, microgreens is easy. You got good quality seed, you got proper watering properly, very important. Yeah. And, the soil and the containers and the lighting. Oh, that's the other thing too, man. I just came from CES 2 days ago. I'll spill another beans. This is going to blow your mind, but it'll be in my upcoming video. And who else makes these videos that goes to the cannabis show and the CES show and find really cutting edge stuff that could take the grow to the next level, right? Like, I don't know anybody else that does that. If I didn't do it, who the hell would do that?
I don't know. That's
like,
nobody
would do
are
it.
The dude.
And like some people that watch my videos be like, John, your video is an hour long. It's too long. I'm not watching it. Fine. Don't watch it. You're not going to find about that one little product that could make all the difference in your grow to accelerate you ahead of the competition.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe some of the things I show are just kind of bullshit, but they kind of make sense to me.
Yeah, right.
Oxygen to live and breathe. I've put myself in hyperbaric oxygen chambers before, and I've noticed a difference in my performance, in my sleep, in so many things. So like, hey, super enriching water for the plants, it can't be a bad thing. It's going to definitely keep your mold and all that shit down too, because guess what? Oxygen-rich environment, those fucking shit ain't going to grow.
Yeah.
So for the sterilization effect alone.
We'll go to an oxygen bar and see how good that feels.
Right,
just to get some pure oxygen. Just that alone, yeah. That's
so the
cool, man.
next thing I saw at the CES show that my video is going to come out, that's probably going to be in, 2-3 months because I'm backlogged, but maybe I'll put it up earlier. So they had new lighting technology. So like, I know you got the lights from Amazon and everybody just buys these lights or that lights or the lights from, Larry or this guy or whoever. And they're 5,000K or these are the ones that I use because blah, 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 blah. And they grow microgreens and yeah, great. I really like the guys in Phoenix and I learned a lot from the microgreens growers in Phoenix. Why? You'd watch that episode,
That's not the guy in his living room, is it? The Phoenix guy?
No.
Maybe. Is that the hydroponic guys?
No, they're growing in soil actually. Microrhiizal soil-based medium actually. It's kind of impressive.
Really? Okay. No, I don't guess I watched that. No.
No worries, dude. They didn't use lights.
Okay, I'm listening.
They also live in Phoenix. They grow in a greenhouse.
Okay.
What's the best light on earth for plants, man? Is it man-made LED lights?
It's sunlight all day.
Sunlight all day, brother. Why?
Well, that's the natural process. That's the best. That's the best shit on the market.
Exactly. Why? In different intensities of frequency and wavelengths and all the shit that I don't even know about.
yeah, right there with you.
Like I'm under my red lights because that's like 660 nm because that's supposed to activate our mitochondrial function or something I don't really know a lot about, but I'm trying and experimenting. But basically, every spectrum of light does something different, right? And yeah, of course, the 660 nm also or wavelength also been shown to basically spike plant growth, veg growth. Which maybe if you're doing veg growth, you need it, and if you're doing flower growth, then you don't need it. But But nonetheless, underneath the sun, you get the full spectrum of all the different wavelengths in their right proportions that plants on the planet that have been living here before man has even was here for billions or trillions. I don't even know how long the Earth's been here. I'm not that smart. Sunlight to grow. And so now there's new LED technology that's coming out of Korea. They basically have 5 different spectrums of LED lights in the bulb. But more importantly, they have 6 different films, not filters, but films that then can rotate underneath the bulbs. And depending on the different colors of bulbs or the different combination of bulbs and the intensity of those bulbs and the films that go by or basically change the light color, they could basically duplicate the whole light spectrum. So on an app, you could see the light spectrum. They could take a sensor and they could measure the sunlight spectrum. And then they could they know the information of what this plant needs, the spectrum it needs based on where it grew and all this stuff. And then they basically could take the sensor of what the sun's putting out. Then they could add in the parts what the plant really needs that's missing from the sun, and then add that in. So now you got the sunlight and this light to basically get things that the sun is not providing. Plus, it can vary based on time of day. So like the sun, right? That's why they say don't use blue lights at night, because blue lights and the sun happens in the morning. You get more red light in the afternoon, in the evening. And that's why, they say humans are not evolved to be having all this blue light. You have the blue light blocker, sunglasses, and put the blue light thing on your iPhone and all this stuff. And that's why I don't use blue lights at night, because I'm trying to duplicate the sun and the light that I would naturally get at this time. Although I probably should be in bed if I was really trying to do that, because it's no light. But I got stuff to do. But anyways, so then if you don't have the sun, say you're doing an indoor grow, you could totally duplicate the sun's frequency throughout the day with all the different color spectrums at the same time, instead of just providing a 5,000K or this, blue light or whatever you want to call it, right? So, I think that's really a game changer, because when I talked to those guys, they said, and I believe this, because they're growing and they didn't know the combination, why exactly, but they know because they're growing in soil-based and also sunlight, their product ships in stores and lasts longer under storage conditions than if they did it with LED lights grown in like hydro medium.
Well, that's awesome.
There's some really opportunities there. And what does this do when I share this information with people? This elevates everybody's game, because now if you adopt this, then the next guy starts doing this. Then all the microgreens, guess what? They last a day extra in all your customers' fridges. They have the opportunity now to eat more microgreens without them going bad. You have an edge on your competitors because they're just still using the standard shit LED lights that produce out one spectrum. Not to say that you're doing that now.
That's okay.
But or do multi-spectrum grows. That's not easy. Yeah. That's not hard right now. You could do more than one spectrum, because you can get different combination lights. They got the ones with the red and the blue lights and stuff. And I don't even know, some of this stuff. And so some research scientists were really happy that this company made these lights now, because nobody else duplicates the sun, which is the best light on the planet, in my opinion. And I don't think too many people would argue with me, unless maybe you're trying to make cannabis flower in a certain month when it wouldn't be flowering anyways indoors, because maybe the sunlight and the sun intensity and the day length is not going to let you do that unless you got auto flower.
Right.
But I don't know. So I think that's really, that was really cool. So, these are like cutting edge new stuff. That light also is $1,500. They're going to come out with the home version hopefully pretty soon. But yeah, so I do a really good clip on that. So, that's like advanced level, like elevate your game, like 2 technologies that are, one of them is here and one of them is on the horizon. And I learned about so many other things, but those are the ones that I think really are most effective, because why? Microgreens need light to grow and they need water to grow. Have I seen these soil mediums that can even kick ass more?
Well, that's the thing. It's about pushing forward and growing the business. And so once these products come out and certain growers, the ones who can afford it, start using it,
and see a difference or not. And then if you don't see a difference, I want to know too, maybe they're all full of BS. Here's for the oxygen, for the one with the higher dissolved oxygen, I could see how it totally makes sense in a garden, in soil. Because why? Because now you're super oxygenating the water. And guess what, man? We want the microbes that eat oxygen, basically, or breathe oxygen, to multiply and flourish. And now if you have that's why we make compost tea with a bubbler, right? So now you're basically putting oxygen-rich, supercharged water into the garden, into soil, and then those microbes are just going to explode. Now, obviously, in microgreens, there's not a whole lot of microbial activity. There's probably some, but not a whole lot. But at the same time, I mean, I think the root hairs also really need that oxygen too, and increasing that, in my opinion, would only help. But I haven't seen studies on this. So those are two advanced things. Let's go back into some of the basics. Let's see, where do microgreens growers fall short, and what can they improve on?
Yeah, just what are some of the common denominators you've seen on both ends of that?
Yeah, so I mean, failure, I mean, on a lot of grows, I see dampening off a lot. And I also see, I mean, we could start with the easiest. That's kind of a hard one to do because I'm not like even the expert on that stuff. I mean, I know there's reasons for that. Overwatering, maybe not enough, you know, improper humidity or moisture levels, watering too much, like
airflow.
Yeah, I mean, so many things. I mean, this other technology that I actually bought personally for my home, which is like called the mold guard, and that's just a small version, but basically it's an ozone less, so ozone free, CARB approved, which is the California Air Resource Board. Basically, this thing kills molds and viruses and all this stuff. So, hey, what if you have a couple of these special air cleaners that are basically releasing this super oxygenated or whatever? It's not super oxygenated, but they're doing something to the air to basically, as soon as the air lands on mold, it kills it. So mold can't grow on your walls. Like for my parents' house that lived near the ocean in California, you know, you clean the mold off the walls once, you put this device in there, you're not going to have mold issues. So if this, I don't know that this is going to make no mold on microgreens, because if you mess up bad, there's still going to be mold. But what if this gives you a little buffer of 10% less chance of mold on microgreens because of this new air filtration technology? Then you buy a $500 air cleaner for your room, and now you will not produce, you'll produce mold 20% less. So you have a little bit better buffer. If you did overwater, you don't get airflow by a little margin. I mean, you still mess up, you're still going to get mold no matter what.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's like these little fine refinements that nobody, it's like, once again, I'm thinking outside the box. I'm not even a microgreens grower, but I see these technologies and I see how these could be applied and how they may be able to be helpful in certain grows. And hey, what's the risk of buying a $500 air cleaner? It's probably just going to make your environment healthier for you anyways.
Yeah.
Without harming you. That big hotels like the Venetian and all these other big companies, I mean, this is not some BS. Like, big companies install this to freaking kill odors in their hotels so people have a better experience. And it's like, you know, it's like a maintenance free. There's not like filters and stuff to change on it, you know. But so anyways, yeah, so I think media, oh my God, I think so many places fail on the media or the growing material they're using. And I'm not even the expert on that. I've just seen so many different materials used, whether you want to use these coconut mats from the special place, you know, whether you're going to use the hemp or the jute fiber or the coconut core, or like you're like a sterile grow medium. Like, you got to find the one that's going to work for you and give you, basically, you want to get reproducible results each and every time and very consistent results. I mean, I think that's really what's very important, what's missing. I mean, I might see a grow that looks good, but then they're not able to do it consistently. So consistently and repeatable, I think, is where some especially newer microgreens farms fail. If you've been doing it for a long time, you know, you definitely know what's up and you've got your stuff dialed in. I think another place, you know, that also, you know, giving props out to that Phoenix Microgreens or Arizona Microgreens, I forget their name exactly, but they're in Phoenix. I mean, props out to them, because I mean, this is where they really excel. They actually keep detailed records, and like they have this notebook where I open it up in the video. They like do experiments, continual experiments to continue to learn and grow and push the field forward. You know, this time we did this mixture of soil, or we did this much water, or we did this soil amendment, or this microbe amendment to see if it's going to make a difference against our control. And we have records of all this stuff. And like, I think most microgrowers, they're just on autopilot. They don't like ever try to, I think that's a really big failure. And you should, don't experiment with your whole freaking grow, but hey, like, you know, 10% of your grow or some extra stuff, you know, grow a couple extra trays and experiment with my ocean solid minerals. You know, I solidly believe in those. I think most growers still don't use the ocean solid minerals, especially the ones with desalted. I think it could make a significant difference in your grow and significantly increase the health of the plants and the nutrition for your end consumers, and also increase the flavor profile compared to your competitors, because they're not using it because they don't think it does anything. Because we've been told, and the gospel is, microgreens only need good seed and water to grow. They don't absorb anything. I can't believe that they don't absorb anything from the water, man. Like
Well,
I
I'm
can't.
sure they do. Yeah,
Very little. Very little.
absolutely.
Most of the stuff's in that seed germ. So that's the other thing. I think most places fail too, and this is advanced knowledge, and not people. Many people know this, but getting good quality seed. But what is good quality seed? So for me, for microgreen seeds, that means that the seed is heavy the seed is heavy. So for
Yeah.
example, you're buying a pound of seeds, you want to buy 500 seeds, in a pound of seeds. And this is just a made up number because it's probably not even close to being accurate. 500 seeds or 10,000 seeds in 1 pound.
Yeah.
You want to buy 10,000 seeds, but John, I could get the same microgreen seed. This company has 20,000 seeds in 1 pound. Why wouldn't I want to get more seeds in 1 pound? Because now I could seed twice as many trays.
Right.
You know the answer?
Well, yeah, it's you get what you pay for, and you need the better quality seed, the better quality product, the healthier the product, the bigger yield you'll have individually per shoot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons there. You get what you
Yeah.
pay for.
I mean, basically the weight, dude. The less seeds you're getting per pound, the more each seed weighs, dude. And in that example I gave, each seed weighs twice as much as the other one. If the seed weighs twice as much, there's twice as much stored nutrition in that embryo and all that other stuff that I don't even know the scientific words of.
Yeah.
Basically feed that baby plant so you're going to have healthier grow that's going to be more resilient to, everything, and also more importantly have more stored nutrition, for the end consumer, and maybe that may reflect in a better taste also. That's the same thing holds true in gardening, but even more so with microgreens. And I don't even know, does like True Leaf say, in this pound of seed there's 10,000 seeds or 1,000 seeds, or do they even quantify that, or do they say buy 1 pound of seeds and it's
They keep it pretty simple. Buy 1 pound of seeds, but I mean, just as someone who's bought a lot of seeds now, I would say they're very, because that's something I look at, especially in the pea and the sunflower, the size and the weight of the seeds, and I would say that they're very consistent. I've actually only had one issue with True Leaf Market, and it was just a mishap. Didn't have anything to do with bad seeds, and they rectified it immediately. I think just from my experience, and I think a lot of other people's experience that I know, they seem to be the most professional, the most consistent, and they have good quality product. But I will say, I do have a friend that sources sunflower seeds straight from Italy, and they're probably about 50% bigger than True Leafs.
And that's the other thing too, man. Just because everybody uses True Leaf and it works traditionally well, there's probably better ones, and I would encourage growers out there. And I don't know how you would do this easily. I guess it's like to try to count the seeds you're getting and pay attention to lot numbers and try to like reference so that you have in your mental mind okay, this batch of seeds I got from True Leaf maybe had X seeds, because you can't sit there and count every seed. So I don't know how you would determine because you go by weight, and then how much you're going to seed out. But I don't know, I really want to, because nobody really thinks about these fine details that in my opinion make a big difference. And I mean, obviously and just because you're getting seeds that are grown organically doesn't mean they're the best quality either, because most organic growers may not be adding things like I would advocate for in soil-based gardening, like rock dust minerals, and adding all the mycorrhiza and having a nice long grow period and not harvesting too early, and having the proper conditions for the plant. I think seed sellers should go a little bit deeper in sourcing higher quality and being able to represent that. Like on the back of every box of food you buy, there's a nutrition facts. And I mean, there should be some kind of assay on seeds, even beyond just the germination testing, in my opinion. That's, once again, this is all next level thinking, and I'm kind of like the next level thinker. And that's actually, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and he's a really cool dude. He came up with a new company I've covered before in my videos in my OK Raw channel. He came up with he used to work for Coca-Cola R&D, and he was a vice president of something. And anyways, he saw how all the companies was making coconut water, and it was all pasteurized and all this crap. And so he wanted to make a different one. So basically he created his own factory, figured out a technique to basically not have to pasteurize coconut water, not even use an HPP, to make sure that all the bacteria are out and that it's a safe product. And he could claim that it's actually raw. unpasteurized. And I mean, I swear to God, like his coconut water out of a plastic bottle tastes just like a coconut that I would open on the beach in Hawaii. Like a nice, like nothing added. Like some of these coconut water companies like add all kinds of sugar and preservatives, vitamin C, ascorbic acid. Like his is the best stuff. Now it is expensive, but here's the thing. Like I was hanging out with him. He came to Vegas. He was actually here for the cannabis convention because actually he's coming out with a coconut coir product, which actually if you're looking for a straight up coconut coir, that dude's coconut coir will be the best. And I didn't even have to see it because I know the dude. And he's like, told me this when we were in the car. And I'm like, you're so right. I think that way also. And that's why we're so good friends. He's an engineer by trade. I'm not an engineer. I didn't go to school for that, but I think like an engineer just because all my bases in computer programming and all this stuff. He's like, John, he's like, you know, he put it something like this. I can't exactly quote him verbatim, but I know what he was saying. So he's like, if you ask somebody the answer to a problem and they give you the answer, right? Most people stop at getting the answer to the problem, right? And so once they got the answer, they think they're good. But he says, you know, the smart people or the people that really are going to move the industry forward are the people that asks, well, if I've already solved this problem, what is the next problem or the next thing on the problem that I just solved that could be improved about the problem I just solved?
Yeah. Forward
thinking. So that's what I try to think about. And, you know, and that's why he's going to have the best coconut coir product because number one, I mean, the coconut coir product is coming from the coconuts that he's getting for the highest quality coconut water. He's probably washing it in special equipment, not on pavement like most of the places in India do. Anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna have a video on that when it comes out. Also, his shit's gonna expand. His coconut coir is not expanded. It's gonna expand in 45 seconds. He told me, which I totally believe. Oh. The dude has been totally legit. So I'm gonna take his core block, a standard core block. That shit's gonna soak in water. It's gonna do shit, and I hate that. Just up and like, awesome. And then I got to do some sample grows in it too. But I mean, I trust this dude because he knows this. He's an engineer, so he's not gonna bullshit you, and he tells it like it is. Like, yeah, anyways.
That's exciting stuff. That's something I'm very
and consistent. Yeah, in your grow because a lot of coconut coir is not consistent, and I don't know that I necessarily would recommend a straight up coconut coir product to grow. Actually, I'd rather use some kind of matting, personally. A lot cleaner too. And wasting time, dude. Like I just was at a grow last night. Not going to mention the grow I was at, but it's like they got to pack in their coconut coir just right every time, and like it's messy. It takes a lot of time. Like, dude, you could just have a mat that you already pre-soaked the night before. Just take out the mat, put it down. Sprinkle on your seeds. Not to say that everything will grow on every mat because every different mat's different, and certain seeds will grow on certain mats, which won't grow on others. But find some mats that work for your seeds that you're growing, man. I'd say go with mats. And I know they're more expensive, but dude,
well, they're also that's
time efficient, dude. Time efficient is so important, man. Especially in my life where I already have a little time as it is to get all my stuff done.
So I actually have switched my grow medium since we filmed a few months ago.
Cool. What'd you switch to?
So I use MP Pro Mix with you just said it a minute ago. I always mess the word up. Yes. Yeah,
I think actually that's what the guys in Phoenix were using.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a very consistent product. I mean, it maybe costs a little bit more, but yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that professionals use. Like seriously in horticulture and greenhouse industry, like, I mean, very consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just drive to Denver, pick up a few bales, these giant compressed bales.
Exactly.
I can cut that thing open and just reach my gloved hand in there, and the stuff just falls apart. It's nice. It's increased my yields, which my friend Donnie Greens, again, he told me, he was like, this is what I'm using, man. If you got a distributor out there, I would check it out. It's probably going to work better than what you're using. I think within 4 or 5 days I had some, and sure enough, just that alone increased my yields. But I've kind of been dialing them in pretty good here recently on most of my strains, most of my varieties. So, but yeah, I'm very excited about seeing the innovation that's going to happen, because the microgreen thing is still really like
new.
I feel like I'm on the front of a wave, and I know there's been people that's been doing this for years, but there's going to be so much innovation and such a big push forward in the market, in the community, in the processes and the systems. I know multiple people that are creating softwares for microgreen growers.
Oh, that's gonna be
Uh,
cool.
there's courses out there you can buy online. There's books. There's channels. There's blogs. There's endless Instagrams and Facebooks you can get information off of. So I'm excited, and I just want to be a part of it and try to help push it along the best I can. Uh, and yeah, and of course, improve my own health too. You know, being on top of this stuff also holds me accountable because I feel like a fraud if I'm not eating enough greens. You know.
If I had that many microgreens, man, I'd be polishing at least 2 trays a day.
I tell you what, some days we damn near do that many, but especially between all of us, my 4-year-old loves broccoli. He
Oh, that's
loves the broccoli. He tears it up. I have to try to keep him away when I'm harvesting on Sundays and Mondays, uh, because he'll try to open the door to the grow room and he's like, bring me some microgreens, you know, give me some of those flowers. But yeah, it's
and
good
I
stuff, man.
just for him, man, off to get him more broccoli microgreens because you know what? Broccoli is a very anti-aging, anti-cancerous food.
Yep,
He's gonna look like he's still 4 when he's 10. Well, maybe not like that, but he'll
that's right.
appreciate that a lot when he's older.
Yeah, he eats a lot of them. I'm sure I could probably give him his own tray, and he'd probably mow through that thing like a hungry goat.
And also offset the food you'd have to buy that's coming from somewhere else. And
You
it's a
know,
healthy thing you could be feeding them, man. You know, honestly,
yeah, it's the healthiest. Yeah, absolutely.
can't get
Well,
healthier than that, man.
well, awesome, man. Well, John, dude, I'm so thankful for you to sit down and chat with me. I know you're super busy. Maybe not everyone else knows, but I know you got other things going on than just the traveling and the YouTube and your personal life. You got other stuff, other
My
business
business,
ventures.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I got trying to date here and do all that thing, and I mean, I mean, I just got regular stuff I got to take care of, and it's just me, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's yeah, it's
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me your time.
time and do what I can every day. That's all it is.
Absolutely, my man. Well, yeah, I'll stop here and we'll hang out for just a second before we sign off. I'll stop recording, but again, I appreciate it, and thanks to everyone that watched the video.
All right, yeah, no worries.